Okay, we got the Yale Superior Malenko Magnum, basically the same lock, and the Yale Platinum 3-star. In a nutshell, they're all pretty much the same as regards picking. I mean, obviously the 3 stars have got the locking cam feature, but from a picking point of view, like that's a 50-50. Platinum is absolutely no difference whatsoever to a 50-50 Malenko Magnum from a picking point of view. Right, probably the most common ones you're going to come up against are a 35-35, either Yale Superior 1-star or Malenko Magnum. Now the 35-35 is only going to have, I say only, it's got 7 actual code pins, and then you got your 4 sidebar pins. Anything bigger than a 35mm, so you got 40mm and above, is going to have the full set of 9 bottom pins to pick, as well as your 4 sidebar pins. Now, before the obvious question, well, why can't they make the 35-35 with 9 pins? Basically, they haven't got enough room. So you're stumped with 4. Sort of stumped with 7. But don't let these things fool you, because you think of a multi-lock Garrison, and there's a lot of people struggling to pick them, and they're a 7-pin lock. So they're not simple. It's not child's play, but with a 7-pin version, some people, myself included, will have success with a pick gun with a dimple blade, and you'll basically put the blade in, pull the trigger, rock the tension until you get that plug to kick. So then once the plug is kicked, you've got quite a large rotation on the plug. By keeping tension on there, you've picked these bottom pins. All that's holding it then is the sidebar pins. So you can just overlift them, and usually the lock will open. Now, when you're stepping up to anything bigger than a 35-35, like I said, you're dealing with basically you're picking 9 pins. Now I think, oh, well, it's only 2 more than the 7-pin. Trust me, it makes a lot of a difference. They're much harder to actually single pin pick with those extra 2 pins in. So then we move on to the Yale Platinum 3 stars. Now the interesting thing with these is, because of the locking cam function, they're a bit tight for space. So if it's a 35mm version like this side is, the maximum they can fit in there pin wise is 5. So you got your 5 bottom pins, and then you still got your 4 sidebar pins. But if you compare that to the 35mm version of the 1-star, the Yale Superior, which has got the 7 pins, this is going to be a lot harder to pick than this. Granted, it might have 40mm or above, so instead of a 35-35, you might have a 40mm. So anything bigger than a 35-35 is going to have the full 9 pins at the bottom, and again the 4 sidebar pins at the top. So really, if you've got a composite door with a 35-35 in it, you were much better off from a picking point of view, either putting the 1-star version in there, or stick a 40-40 Yale Platinum in. Even though it's going to stick out 5mm, still offers much better picking protection than the 35-35. So another way, this is a 35-45 this is. So you can see the pins, 9 pins on that key. There's 9 pins in that side. Now just to demonstrate, that's the 35mm side. You can only fit 5 pins in there. So now when you insert the key this side, get it in. See, it stops short. It only actually interacts with 5 pins. So a little bit of a con really. I mean, your sidebars are there, but basically on the 35mm you're losing all those pins. You've only got them. So that's, you know, it's an interesting thing if you're coming up against these things on a door. It's a composite door. Chance, you know, a good chance it could be a 35-35. I mean, you know, there's a brand new one in the box. You can see the size of the key. Little dinky keys. Whereas anything bigger has got longer keys. So right, that's pretty much it now. I just wanted to give you a little insight in how these locks actually work. Another thing that's often overlooked by people, they think there's 2 rows of pins, like in a, take this for example, there's 7 pins in there. There'll be, people assume there's a row of 4 pins and then slightly offset is a row of 3 pins. Well, if you take that plug out and you took the plug upside down, you would see 2 distinct rows. So you would think that, you know, the pins are that far apart. But because the pins come up at an angle, by the time they reach where the key interacts with them, they're pretty much all in a straight line. Don't know if you can see in there, but they're pretty much all in a straight line. So whereas some people often thought, oh, you got to go pick in one side, then you got to go the other side to pick the other row of pins. You pretty much have it. I mean, they are slightly offset, but we're talking fractions of a millimeter. And so all this tool exploits, you're picking it like a normal cylinder. I don't know if you can see, but the wire just goes from pin to pin to pin to pin. So they're all in a straight line. So there's nothing groundbreaking rocket science about this. Where people have struggled in the past is, especially because there's 7 pins in there in this version, is just even keeping your angle, keeping in a straight line as you're going down. People would tend to sort of go off a bit, and just makes it a bit cack-handed really. Whereas this now, because that wire can just go forward and it can go down, it just makes it a lot easier. And obviously the scales, the readings on the side, it makes it a lot easier just to know what you're doing really. When you're in the locks, you can feel your way through. So that's it now. We'll do another video with some picking in a minute, but I just wanted to sort of highlight the differences, when there aren't that many, between these 3 versions of locks. They are pretty much the same thing.